Yoho! Today, another of my good buddies, Hisao, has dropped by the Rubbish Heap to give me some help in reviewing today's game.
Hey everybody, yeah, I'm Hisao. Been friends with Saki for, I think it's been quite some years now. She's the skater. I guess that makes me the car guy.
Yeah, man, that was some time ago. It was the PC Engine that we first played together, right?
Yeah, that's right. God, you remember that?
Yeah, Yokai Dochuki, that Namco arcade port. God, that was so fun.
Yeah, man, the nostalgia on that game. Anyway, today's game is Shutokou Battle 97, Drift King on the Sega Saturn. It's an arcade street racing game based on the Tokyo Metropolitan Expressway network, which is known as a Shutokou. The unique aspect of this game is its drift mechanic. There are 3 courses loosely based on the inner and outer loops of the Shutokou and the Bayshore route. The meat of the game is a scenario mode, which is 9 races in total spread out across the 3 courses. In each race you'll be pitted against a rival, with the final 3 races against drift racing legend, hence Drift King, Keichi Tsuchiya. Naturally, each rival increases the difficulty of the challenge. The only other vehicles on the road are motorists and truck drivers who are engaging in another kind of drifting by changing lanes with little notice in front of you. But I guess that's part of the challenge, or they can be infuriating when you execute a near perfect drift only to rear-end a bus that has changed lanes at the last second, whilst your rival drifts effortlessly by. Thankfully, there is no concept of damage in this game. At first, in the scenario mode, your range of cars will be fairly limited, but it does include a legendary AE86 Sprinter Trueno, but none of the cars are named. They'll be given an alias such as Type 86. Sadly, my steed, the Mitsubishi Starion, isn't featured in this game.
Not that old heap again.
Ignore her. The only wheels that she knows about are those that are about 53mm and bolted onto a plank of wood.
It's not a plank of wood. It's 7 plies of concave maple freedom, dude.
Whatever. At first, these cars seem quite slow. In fact, on your first race, you might think this is a slow, lumbering game, but that's by design. You need to visit a tuner, Masaki Bandor, to improve your car's performance. Between winning the races, listen to his advice as well. For example, his first tip is to improve the aero parts.
Giving you the ability to fly over your rival?
No, aerodynamics, dummy. Gradually, you will speed up your car and be flying around the track, and once again you'll be thinking, man, isn't the Sega Saturn great? A bit of a hint for you here though, the electronics will provide your first real true boost in speed. As you progress through the scenario mode, new cars will be added, but you'll start at their base specification, meaning you could be grinding for cash whilst you start to upgrade again. You will also receive some money even if you lose. Other modes of play are versus computer mode, where you're free to choose any of the rivals and any of the cars, which is fun to hone your skills on, as well as a practice mode. In terms of criticism, the colouring of some of the vehicular traffic is at times frustrating. 2 of the stages have grey sedans, which really blend into the road surface colour at high speeds. And talking of the traffic, in the second stage it seems that your race tuner Bandor-san is actively trying to sabotage your race by sending out an endless fleet of his trucks to get in your way. The traffic will probably make you cuss out loud, but gradually if you stick with it, your skills will improve massively. The lack of a 2-player mode is a shame as well, and my other main criticism is that the HUD, whilst very useful, can sometimes get in the way a bit, especially when drifting around longer and or sharper corners, obscuring your view, but it doesn't happen very often, mostly on the Bayshore route. Overall, this is a fairly tough racer, but definitely not impossible, and will keep you playing for hours. Saki, would you like to talk about the Japanese level in this game for me?
Sure, I rate the Japanese level in this game as fluent, but with a big caveat to that. Anybody can play this game with no Japanese understanding, as the major items on the screen are in English, but the difficulty comes in the tuning section of the game. The language is very technical and related to cars and their parts. Thankfully, Japanese uses a lot of English loanwords rendered in katakana, which some beginners will be able to understand, but surrounding that is a lot of kanji. The manual thankfully lists all of these parts, allowing you to translate them at your own leisure. Because clearing the scenarios is dependent on using these various parts, understanding these is essential. You could upgrade at random, but that's pretty hit and miss. Likewise, Bandor-san's advice in the FMV sequences after winning a race requires a degree of Japanese understanding, so listen out for keywords that can help you. The text of this game is very clear. The smaller amounts of dialogue are in large fonts, and in tuning sections, text is also still readable, even though the kanji is at low resolution. You're going to find quite a bit of casual and slang in your rival dialogues too, but don't let this put you off. It is playable without any Japanese understanding. You just might want to use your smartphone with something like Google Translate's camera function to translate all of those car parts first. Hisao, I'm going to hand it over to you to rate this game.
Thanks, Saki, that's awesome. This is one of the best racing games on the Saturn, but on the Rubbish Heap, we rate on the merit of the game alone regardless of the platform. So this rating is when put against other racing games of all sorts, including Super Mario Kart, Burnout, Gran Turismo, Crash Team Racing and so on. So I rate this as good, or 3 stars out of 5. It's well worth a pickup as it's still cheap. Where it falls down is that once the scenario mode is finished, there are no extras and the other play modes are more aimed at practice. But you will definitely have fun with this game, and on the Saturn this compares very well to Daytona USA and Virtua Racing, but maybe not quite as legendary as Outrun or Sega Rally on the system. If you put in the hours in working on your drifting, you will definitely enjoy this game a lot in between crashing into the traffic.
Wow, thanks Hisao, that was just such an awesome summary, and thank you so much for your help today. It's been awesome.
My pleasure, Saki. Honestly, it's a real pleasure to be on the Rubbish Heap. See you all soon.
As always, like, subscribe and all of that shit, and also check out this rad Rubbish Heap merch, available worldwide on Redbubble and Amazon. See the links below for how to purchase. I've been Saki Endo, and this has been the Rubbish Heap. じゃあねーね。
首都高バトル深夜の湾岸線ベストセッティングでドリキン土屋に挑戦だプレイステーションで好評発売中空想実現元気